I'm proud of my pro-life record.
Right now, Paul Ryan says he has a pro-life record, and he does. That's not what he wants us to focus on, but in the aftermath of the legitimate rape controversy, that's all a lot of people are talking about. We will as well. And next,
it's about which candidate is more likely to return us to full employment. This is a clear choice.
is he Obama's favorite surrogate? Former President Clinton just cut a new ad for the Obama campaign, but is it really smart of the president today to link his legacy to that of the former president? And later,
the Republican approach focuses almost entirely on oil and fossil fuels.
Drill, baby, drill. That's how Democrats are branding Mitt Romney's energy plan that he focused on today. So whose plan, if any, will be able to light a fire under the U.S. economy? Good evening and welcome to RFL. I'm Andrew Whitman, in tonight for Richard Fresh. I want to thank you so much for joining us on this Thursday evening, August the 23rd. We are now just 74 short days away from the election, and despite Mitt Romney's best attempts to shift the conversation back to the economy today, the focus remained on reproductive issues. We are in first position tonight with the VP nominee, Representative Paul Ryan's attempt to distance himself from the Akin controversy.
What is forcible rape?
Rape is rape. Rape is rape, period. End of story.
So that forcible rape language meant nothing to you at the time?
Rape is rape, and there's no splitting hairs over rape.
Now, that was Paul Ryan responding to questioning about a bill that he and Todd Akin supported in Congress that would have limited the use of federal funds for abortions to only cases of, quote, forcible rape or incest with a minor. The original language in that bill differentiated between, quote, forcible rape and other types of rape, which some anti-abortion activists say should not be included in exceptions. The forcible rape language was eventually dropped, but Ryan has supported more than one anti-abortion bill that included the term forcible rape. So it's no wonder that the Obama camp continues to try to paint Romney and Ryan and Akin all with that same brush.
This election, ladies, is a choice about supporting women and families in this country. Make sure that you tell people that your president believes that women should be able to make our own choices about our health care.
An appeal from the First Lady there to other women. The National Right to Life Committee, for some background, gave both Paul Ryan and Todd Akin scores of 100% for the year 2012. Question for the campaign, the question for us tonight, is this going to continue to be a problem for the Romney campaign? Is it a problem at all? Let's bring in the panel tonight, and we're joined by Ed Till, radio talk show host, Dominic Carter, a political journalist and author, and we're also joined by Anthony Figliola, Vice President at Empire Government Strategies. Anthony, welcome to the panel. Thanks for joining us tonight. So first of all, is this a problem for the Romney campaign, the abortion issue at all, or is it just the fact that we're taking away from what they want to talk about, which is the economy?
Well, I think that's the first point. It does take away from the economy. The second thing that Romney has had to do all year is gin up the base. There is no better way to do that than to get 100% from the National Right to Life Committee. So it's got political pluses, but it disserves the American people. The American people are demanding plans and solutions to create jobs.
Well, remember, the strategy in the primary for Mr. Romney was to the right, and almost in fairness to him, like any candidate, for a Democrat to the left in the primary, and for the general election, you come back to the center to reach those critical independent voters that are so desperately going to decide in a strong way this election, Andrew. But here's the problem. With the Akin situation, it's a broad brush. There was already a question about Mr. Ryan, where his position is. Mm-hmm. And this is going to reinforce why there's a gender gap that favors Obama over Romney when it comes to women in this election. This is a huge problem that's not going to go away anytime soon. And when you're on the heels of your convention, you don't want to be talking about this. You don't want to discuss abortion. You want to talk about why the economy is so bad and why Obama has to go.
It was an absolutely stupid comment, and the Republicans completely jumped right over it. And what it's doing now is it's taking away from what the Republicans want to do, which is talk about the jobs and the economy. They just announced, the CBO just announced that, you know, we're going to be $1 trillion in debt in 2012. These are issues that the Romney-Ryan campaign wanted to talk about. And now what you're having is the Obama administration, on the heels of what Congressman Akin is talking about with rape, now they're building a war room in Tampa to basically steal away the thunder and the momentum that the Republicans wanted to have in Tampa. It's a colossal mistake, and the Republicans are trying to pick up the pieces.
Horrible precedent on free speech also. This guy didn't pick up a gun and shoot anyone. He didn't hit anybody with a bat. He made a ridiculously, horribly offensive remark. But in recent America, that's all it takes for the walls to fall down. You're unacceptable. You're a pariah, because what you did, you used the wrong vocabulary word. Forget about your apologies. Now, you know, some politicians may be forgiven more easily than others, but we should keep vocabulary in perspective. Is there a lesson to be learned? Yeah. Should the walls fall down?
Well, I'm not necessarily sure this is an example of where the PC police are coming down. I mean, this is the third rail for politics, or one of the third rails, and he stepped all over it.
But it is undiscussable.
No, well,
it's become undiscussable. They won't put on the doctor he quoted. There's a story out with an interview 2 days old. At least give the guy human treatment and then sentence him.
Point taken. I'm not necessarily sure I agree with it. But let's get back to the politics of this. And how does the Romney campaign move past this? They don't want to keep talking about abortion and abortion rights, but the media keeps asking about it. How do they press past it?
I think with, again, what I said, we're talking about what the CBO just came out with the dire debt plan, the issues that we have. They need to continue to push forward. They've got to talk about Obama's record and the fact that, you know, every year we've had $4 trillion over the last 4 years of increased debt to our deficit. These are issues that have to be to the forefront. The fact that 46 million people are that are making less than $24,000 a year. These are the types of things that they need to be talking about, and in order to push forward to get away from this Akin issue.
But the problem is the Democrats, and rightfully so, they're not going to let them get away from this. The best thing that Mr. Romney has going right now is that his convention starts, and you'll be down in Tampa. His convention starts in just a couple of days. But the bad news for Romney is that's even a bad metaphor, because it's supposed to be a bad tornado, and hurricane, a hurricane that may force the convention to move to Charlotte or some other city. So it just seems that right now the Republicans, and remember, I predicted a long time ago that President Obama was in trouble, so I'm being neutral and objective in my observation of this, but it just seems that lately the Republicans are having an awfully bad time. And then you mentioned third rail, Andrew, right? That was what you said. Okay, granted, but then let's move to the other third rail that they're dealing with, Medicare.
Yeah.
So they're in a no-win situation right now, Republicans.
And both abortion and Medicare not being helped by Paul Ryan and his inclusion on the ticket. They could have taken a safer choice that might have saved them a little grief on both of those areas. We're going to focus on the one key Democrat and the Democratic ticket coming up in our next segment. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, don't call it a comeback. There's also a Republican we're going to talk about. Chris Christie says he will not mention the Jersey comeback in his keynote speech at the Republican National Convention on Tuesday night. We'll explain why next.